Okay, so I am super pumped. You already know the business. Welcome to the session live. Minister Fred 2, aka Doc Whitlow. Hey, listen. Today's show is super impactful. Not only that, but we're gonna have a real conversation about what transformation looks like from the inside out. I'm not going to tell you who our guests are, and we have guests. But let me say this. The Bible says, what profit a man to gain the whole world, lose his soul? And there's another scripture that says, if you are who you say you are, authentic and a believer, or if you're not, then what is the whole point of your existence? So when we come back from the intro, I'm going to introduce you to some amazing people who have persevered and have made a significant impact globally just by standing. So this is it. You already know the business. I'm your host, Minister Fred 2. Don't even get it twisted. Let's do this. Hey, let's do it, Norm. Hey, welcome back to you already know the session live, No More Dirty in the building. I'm your host. Listen, I am super pumped, so here we go. Now, I'm going to introduce you to a really great snapshot. You're going to see the picture. It's going to be great. Then they're going to introduce themselves, and then we're going to dig in. All right, so without any further ado, we want to welcome to our show and to your life and in your room and wherever you are, the Ray family. Hey, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Hey, listen, this is a real situation here. So first of all, let's get some names, and then we're gonna tell them the connection of the last name. All right, so we'll start. Let's see. We have the ladies in the middle. They make the scene look good. So let's start on the inside and work our way back. All right, what's going on, Doc?
My name is Melvin Watkins, and I'm the son of Melvin Ray.
All right.
I'm Mama Ray.
Wait a minute, did y'all hear that? Mama Ray. This one right here is a serious situation. Go ahead.
This is Marvin, right?
This is a good doctor, right here. This is the doctor from the beginning, right? And then
Clara.
Okay, and then
Marvin Ray Jr.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you so much. I want to say first, thanks again for being on the show. Folks, here's the situation. We are talking about a very serious documentary that has just hit globally. It was picked up by HBO, and it is called The Alabama Solution. It features this family's amazing guy, Melvin Ray. And we just wanted to talk about this because I think a lot of times when you think of talk show, people look at ratings, they look at film, they look at this, they look at that. But we really want to talk about advocacy. We want to talk about some of those stories. We want to also talk about what makes this film and this journey so significant. Because at the end of the day, if it's just a show, if it's just a film, if it's just a documentary, we've missed all of the point. So with that being said, let's I want to do this. A story about your father that is always important to you, think you can share with the folk. Just something short and sweet.
A story about my father. As a memory about my dad I have, he used to have his Lexus. I don't know what kind of Lexus it was specifically, but it had a TV in it. And I used to always ask him, every time we get in there, I used to always ask him, can we play Toy Story? And he'd be like, he'd have to stop the car. He'd be like, all right, whatever. To get out, you know what I'm saying? You got to go. This is when they had like the tape player like in the trunk. So you got to go to the trunk.
Yeah, to
go tape in, you know what I'm saying? Come back like, all right, bro, be quiet. You know what I'm saying? I'm up there watching Toy Story. And this is like in the 90s, so I thought it was super cool. And I always remember that.
I think that's crazy dope. For you, your father, we'll talk about some other things, but why was he so special to you?
He's my dad. You know what I'm saying? Or he is my dad. Nothing too much outside of it. Like, you know, that's my dad. That's who was there, even, you know, like despite the situation, and who was supposed to be there. So ain't too much outside of that.
And I think that's cool because a lot of times we disassociate humanity from fatherhood and from family. And there's always that one or two scenario, story, situation. Like for you, it was the Toy Story and the tape deck. Right. And so that's always going to be a lasting kind of moment where it's like, man, I got the coolest pops in the world.
Right.
Because he did that just for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And even though life happens and we figure out and we navigate how we navigate, one of the things I want you to always be thinking about throughout this conversation is humanity. Where is the humanity? How do we capture humanity? How do we live that out in a way that is not only a blessing to us in our family, but a blessing to the world at large? I appreciate you sharing that.
Right.
Mama Ray, now I know you can chef too. I know we gonna get some good chefing on November 7th. But before then, for you, what was that story? That little Melvin, or maybe big Melvin, or middle-aged Melvin? I don't know, whatever.
Well, when he was a kid, one thing about him, he loved to stay in that bedroom with a book.
Wow.
He always loved to read.
Wow.
And he could never forget anything. And he could read a book and then tell you all about it, what it means.
Wow.
And he wasn't the type that wants to go outside and play or run around and do this and that. But he wants to read all day. And he was real smart in school.
Wow.
And he was just a quite laid back kid. Quiet, laid back.
Wow. Pops, senior in the building, the good Marvin. What about for you, your son?
Well, he was a little hard-headed.
You don't keep it 1,000 up in there.
Him and his brother was a little hard-headed. They didn't want to listen to good. I remember one time I bought them old go-karts, and I told them, I said, don't y'all ride this thing once. If I'm not here, don't you get in it. Don't get in it. I pulled in the driveway, they tearing the yard up. I got my bed and I knocked them dust out of them bitches. But that didn't stop them though. They still did it again anyway. Yeah, but I love my boy. Yeah, he's a good one. He was a good one. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So as parents of Melvin, what is maybe one or two significant things? Now we know he was brilliant, he's very smart, and you'll learn more about that when we talk about the documentary. But for you, what made him being a special part of your family special?
Like his mom said, he loved to read. He was sort of stuck to that education stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, he was good with that. Yeah, but he just got out there and just got with the wrong. Like we all did.
We all do.
Mm-hmm. They just got caught up in it, and but that just the way it was. Yeah, but he was a good kid though. He really was.
And again, one of the things that sticks out of just what you all said is that even if we make mistakes, even if we go down the wrong path for a certain time or whatever, the beauty of excellence, and in this case, as relates to Ray, you can do and you can overcome anything.
That's true.
Through education. And he's done that and still is doing that. Through being the role model, good, bad, ugly. And then on top of that, being a servant to others when you don't have to.
That's true.
Like he didn't have to do that.
No.
We're going to talk about it. I'm going somewhere, so you just got to ride, buckle up, and take the trip. You know how we go. But I just think when I had a chance to check it out and just doing my research, I was like, wow. Can any good thing come out? But it has. And it's still coming out. All right. I don't want to go too deep. So I got a chance to hang out with my man's sister, Clara. We got to go to Montgomery.
Yes.
And big shout out for the invitation. And we're going to do some other shout outs too. But right now, for you,
Yes.
the oldest sibling, right?
Yes.
You're the oldest of three.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So what was it about Mr. Melvin? Or you got to give us one story because listen, folks, she's animated, super animated. Out of all of them, this one right here, Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Go ahead.
So, a story about my brother. Okay. I guess I am being a little animated right now.
Yeah.
Trying to think of something. A couple of memories come when he was little. There was an incident where we lived in Cincinnati, and we just moved there, I think.
Okay.
And we went to Bush Center. It was a community center.
Correct.
My two brothers knew how to swim, but I did not. So I guess they thought it would be funny to push me into the pool.
Oh.
And from that moment, it was like my fear of getting in the pool because I'm trying to, paddle my way up. And, they thought it was funny. But that's one of my, fond memories of, of our childhood. And, always playing together outside. Just things like that. Just always, I remember with my dad and my parents, it was always why. Why? Always why. And that's something my dad always talked about. Like, he just never knew how to let that why go. Like, he was always inquisitive.
Yeah.
Always wanted to know how things work and why. Why I got to be that, or why I got to do this, or why. So, yeah.
I think that's pretty cool, too, that as an older sibling, that's what you remember as it relates to your brother.
Right.
The why. The why or the why not.
Right.
Or the have. Or you should not, or maybe you should consider this. And I'm going to say something, folks. We got a chance to hang. We've been doing this for a minute now. I'm jumping on board. I'm the rookie. And it's interesting to see how Clara really moves in terms of advocacy on behalf of her family, but especially her brother. I mean, I'm just seeing that she's moving here. Okay, we're going to be here. We got to do this screen. We got to do this. We got to do this. We got to do this. I mean, all over the place. And then she's like, and then on top of all of that, what are we going to eat? And I'm like, wow. It's refreshing to see again how siblings can still stick together and make a world of a difference in different spaces.
Right.
All right, good doctor. We got the junior in the building. Junior Marvin. How about you? That story for you, man. You all obviously was getting into some mischief.
I can give you a million stories.
No, just give me one.
I mean, he was my road dog.
Yeah.
So we ran together pretty much. But one of the things about my brother is he clean cut. He wouldn't even want to get his hands dirty. He didn't want to work on the go-kart. He don't work on no mini bike, no bicycle, nothing. He don't want to do nothing. His ain't gonna stay clean.
So he's a pretty boy. He's a pretty boy.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that that's it. He's clean, man. He kept his side of the room clean. I kept mine.
I mean, that was a rough ride. And we're still praying. So anyway, with that being said, as a family, and maybe one person or two why is it so important to stick together? And then we'll walk into this conversation with the documentary.
I think with this situation, we can accomplish more and conquer more together than division. Because if you have division, then you're not going to get to the goal that Melvin wants us to get to, as, pertaining to him. So I think, together we can accomplish a lot because each one of us may have our own strength and we can all, work on what we're strong at and help in that way.
Okay, cool. Anybody else? What about you, Doc?
I would just say strength in general. That's probably like one of the things that kept him going is just having family here, even though like probably wouldn't like always, how it needed to be. But the fact that we were here, you know what I'm saying?
It was enough to keep the
20, 30 something years.
Right.
It'll keep your engine going, so.
So let's talk a little bit, let's shift a little bit and let's talk about the reason behind us coming together initially, and that is the documentary.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're talking about this new documentary that has come out. It actually aired October the 10th, right? And let's talk about the documentary, why Melvin and Kinetic. Why? Why did they see a need to say, listen, we're going to do whatever it takes to deal with the inhumanity or the inhumaneness as it relates to individuals, human beings that are incarcerated, and everybody makes mistakes, but we're still here, we're still living, we're still breathing, and we're still working for the state in some capacity. So why? If you can give us shed a little light, and I think that's important as we segue.
Well, I think for them, they will probably say, why not? Because if not, then no one would know what's going on at this moment to the scale that we do know. Now it's known globally. Everyone is in your living room now. So therefore, once you see this, you'll understand why they had to do it, because it is inhumane. It is, modern day slavery, free labor. Like there's so many layers to it, drug addiction, all type of things that goes on within that prison where a lot of people didn't believe it. And until this film came out, even though they, started the platform of Free Alabama movement in 2013, but a lot of people don't have access to social media. But a lot of things people do is watch TV.
That's true. So let's talk about your brother and Robert Earl. We're going to talk in terms of just hit and miss because we want them to show up on November the 7th. And here in Huntsville, it will be at the Calvary Hill Center, 2900 Fairbanks Street. We're going to show a community screening of the official documentary that is now making serious impact. So, but before we do, let's talk about these two guys. We talked about the why not versus the why. So for these two guys, knowing that things were bleak,
Right.
and they still did it, so we got to talk about that. And then I want to show you all the trailer, right? And then we're going to come back and we're going to do a few more, and then you just got to show up. You just have to show up because we're not giving you all of the juice. You need to see it for yourself. You need to say, okay, what am I going to do after I've seen it?
Right.
And how do I become involved? We'll talk about that as well.
Okay.
All right, so let's talk in terms of that.
So the film itself and involvement, if you want to learn how to get involved, you can go to the Alabama Solution website.
Come on.
And they have the option on there how to get involved. And on there, it'll navigate you. Also on that website, you'll have access to Melvin's website and Kinetics and Raul. I think he has a website. But on their websites, you'll get information about their activism they have done since they've been incarcerated. Also, they have petitions that you can sign as well. So on there, you'll see a lot of information and a lot of ways of getting involved within your community, within your state, of trying to change the prison system, the ADLC.
All right, so with that being said, we're going to go right into, I want you to check out this trailer. When we come back, we're going to dig in just a tad deeper because we're not going to give you all of it. I'm just telling you, you already know the business. We don't do that anyway. So here it is. You already know the business. This is the trailer for the Alabama Solutions. You are tuned in to the Session Live. No More Dirty. Let's go.
I know you're grieving, but I want to tell you that your son was murdered. They sweep stuff underneath the rug all the time.
If you're an inmate in Alabama prison, you're probably praying every night that nothing bad happens to you. It's dangerous and volatile. It could explode at any moment.
I mean, it's corrupt. That's all you can say.
We're finished.
What are we finished with?
Film me.
Why?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hold on a minute. Police in here.
Oh, okay.
Don't talk.
We had record numbers of people leaving out of here in body bags. They don't want the public to see what's really going on the inside.
How can a journalist go into a war zone but can't go into a prison in the United States of America?
The state is settling one lawsuit after another. There's no consequences for their actions.
It's not the inmate that's killing them folks. It's the guards.
There's an argument that there is some systemic problem within all of our facilities, and I wholeheartedly disagree with that.
How can you defend this?
That one guard, he knew something. I could tell he was a liar.
We are going to pursue it based on the facts to the fullest extent that we're allowed.
And their biggest fear is to see us come together on one accord.
We got to take our power back. We have to come together and make a stand that our life is worth something.
I came to prison in 1985. I know what these folks are doing.
We have been taking life and death risk to get this information out while we still can.
All right, welcome back to the session live. You already know the business, Bible Beats and Bars. This is exclusive because you can show up November 7th. That's a Friday. So, you know, it's on and popping. All right, so let's get in. Let's talk about this this movement that they decided to do to make that kind of impact. Let's go. What you got?
It's the conditions, and they decided, you know, what was going on was against their civil rights. Mm-hmm. So, you know, what they learned and, you know, just researching, and they decided to come together and fight against the system. Right. And they have, you know, the family on the outside protesting along with what they was doing, filing, you know, documents and whatnot. So it was just a lot of things that they were seeing within there, and nothing was changing. And the only way to make change is to start exposing the problem.
You know,
the conditions.
And I think what's crazy deep about this documentary is that everybody needs to see it. Yeah. So let's talk. You're the son. You're a younger cat. Mm-hmm. Why should a teenager? Why should a youth group be there? Why should families that may live in vulnerable communities be there? Why should churches that are in suburbia? Why should everyone say, I'm going to pull up on Friday, November the 7th, and I'm going to take the couple hours out, 2 or 3 hours out to have a dialogue. We're going to talk about that after we see the film. Why?
But I said as a youth or as a young Black American, this just like reinforces the what they call the school to prison pipeline.
Yeah.
And the whole thing, right? So everybody want to run around and you know, the music is like bang bang, shoot 'em up now.
Right.
It's rap, it's not hip hop.
Right. Cool.
And that's what they push to like our young men and our young women. So when you get in these situations, there's a quote I heard my mama say a long time ago: "Sin will invite you in and keep you there longer than you want to stay."
Wow. Wait. And say that again. No. Say that loud and proud, because that's the thing.
Says sin will invite you in and it'll keep you there longer than you want to stay. So that's something that as a young man that my dad reinforced with me a lot coming up. So, you know, go to school, play football, you know, put your head in the book, you know what I'm saying? Don't put it in the streets, stuff like that is an age-old story. And you think it's, you know what I'm saying, like as a young man or like as a kid, you think, whatever, it never happened to me. Some people get second chances, some people don't. So, and I'm only 30, and I've seen a lot of my friends go, whether it's prison or the grave, and it's due to the streets. So there's that.
You know, that is so deep. And again, you're hearing it from a younger man who can speak, who has seen this, lived through this as a son, and actually is an advocate by just what he does. This dude is doing great things. I won't tell you what he does, but he does great things. He's a great musician too, by the way. Yeah, you already know. Plug. So that's the business. It's all about the music, entertainment, and education. But you're right. Without having a central focus on education, constructive, positive things to do. Right. When we look at this documentary, which is another reason why you should bring your family out, I work with youth in basketball education. All of them have to come on. They get kicked off the team. That's just facts. And bring their families. But when you realize that, one silly mistake or one unfounded choice lands you in somewhere where you only supposed to get 6 months time, and it goes from 6 months to 5 to 10 to life, all because he trying to make that paper. That's a thing.
Or somebody with a different skin color trying to make a point.
Or that's it. Or you in lockup because you try not to be.
Right.
And you in confinement all because you decided to run with your homie. And you didn't know your homie had something on him or under the seat. And you're now accessory to the crime. And so now you're living a life that you didn't even do anything. So for your brother, and you all were thick as thieves. Not thieves, but thick as homies. Okay, let me change that. We were thick as homies, right? For you, and you're an older gentleman, and you got a lot of homies, and there's a lot of us older cats is just, I'm gonna do what my homies say. I'm a rock and roll, man. I'm in this thing for life. I'm a G for life. What would you say to someone who, one of the guys is just not doing right, but because y'all been knowing each other for umpteen years, or because they looked out for you when you was 12, but they ain't no good. They're not doing good in terms of this documentary.
Well, at the end of the day, I'm gonna say this: the people that's not concerned about the documentary because they're not in that situation, or they have someone been put in this situation. So I feel like that the parents should be encouraging the other friends and parents and children to come and see the documentary so they can see exactly what their child getting into when they run the streets.
Wow.
Because the streets ain't got no love, and it ain't no love in the penitentiary.
Yeah.
So it ain't no love no way you go. So you got a choice to make. We all have made some mistakes, but I promise you, it ain't what you think inside that prison. It ain't pretty. And if you see the documentary, you'll see. But the point is, can you get these people to come and see exactly what's going on? Because some people don't believe it.
Well, and I'll say one of the things I'm excited about, connecting with Clara, your sister, and connecting, shout out to Coach P, and shout out to One Justice Foundation. I think they're awesome people. We're not only just going to say, come show up. Listen, prior to, from 5 to like 6, we're going to have a really great meal, some food for you. So just like if you're going to go see a movie, right? You're going to see a documentary, you're going to see DC Comics or one of the new flicks that are out. Guess what? You pull up, you go to the concession, you get a $10 meal that you know is going to last you for 2 hours, and then you go in. So you're going to have some eats. We're going to have car and bike show, some guys out there that believe in making a difference. Because, we're very colorful people.
Yes.
So you can't just say, well, you need to change your life. I ain't changing my life. But if you say, man, you got cars out there, bikes out there, man, we going to have hot dogs and this and that, you're going to be like, yo, man, when is going to happen? When is going to happen, man? We going to get you one way or the other. So it's Friday, November the 7th, 5 o'clock. And then 6 o'clock, we'll begin actually showing this documentary. Now, listen, if you can take the risk to do something else, take the greater gift, which can be seen as a risk, but really, it's really the best thing you're going to see. Listen, I'm telling you, I saw it. We went to the hearing. I think we should talk about that too before we wrap up. Let's talk about the Montgomery experience. Okay. The hearing. So you got to share a little bit of that. Again, when you come to this official community release, and it's free, everything's free. After the showing, we're going to have like 10-15 minute call to action, and then you can talk to the fam. You can talk to we're going to have some advocates there. So if you got a kid or somebody running down that wrong road, they need to get on the right road. We will be in pocket, in place, along with other partners and affiliates. Okay, let's talk about that experience. Yo, it's bananas.
Yeah, Montgomery was different. That was my first time going to the Prison Oversight Committee meeting. And if you watch the film, they do have a portion of one of those meetings in the film itself. But I appreciate Christopher England. He watched the film and his passion came out in that questioning of the ADOC commissioner, where he hammered them and he did not let go. As we would say in our community, he had his foot on their neck.
Yeah.
And the minister himself was even more, I think in the beginning he was answering the questions, giving the answers, but they gave him an opportunity they opened that door. And when they opened that door, he spoke. And the horrific things that he said he have to deal with those inmates. And when it's time to end it, they don't want to go back because they don't want to go back to the conditions or the things they have to endure when they go back into the dorm. And I thought, it's one of those things where if you have a family member or loved one incarcerated, you have to go to one of those meetings so your voice can be heard and your presence is there. Because when we first got there, they had us in a smaller room. And because so many people showed up, they had to put us in a larger room because I guess that's never happened before.
First time ever.
Yeah, and so it was just one of those moments where they realized the film, and he even encouraged people to watch the film, the representative. And so one of those things, I think a lot of people there had seen the film and a lot of them haven't, but it was a lot of dialogue within that meeting about that.
The other piece too, and then we're going to go to another little quick break and then we're going to finale, is for me being there and to see how the system dances around being humane. The takeaway from that was like, I will forever be an advocate. No More Dirty will forever be an advocate. To see that all you have to do is clean up a hall, but you would rather leave it filthy, unkept. And when something is unkept, you're going to have critters, and you're going to have this, and you're going to have that. And it's our tax dollars.
Right.
And to dance around that, oh no, son, you bugging, you out of control.
Yeah.
So we've got to be involved, and part of that, and I'm not going to even talk about it until you see it, was what do we do in the state, for us in Alabama, but for where you are, to see that, hear that, have the facts, and watch people dance because they don't want to be held accountable. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are we going to do? It starts with us, and then and like what you will see is that we can do more when we're together. We're stronger together than we are divided. We'll be right back. We're going to do this, and we're going to finale with the last little talking points.
Can I get the now bar, please? $1. Have a good one. Got it.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Let me get a now bar.
Sure. $1.
Appreciate you.
Got it.
So I do want to ask, as parents, so the advocacy point, as parents who has an individual loved one incarcerated and that's still fighting and being an advocate for justice, what would you say to those parents, right? Because there's a lot of us that have loved ones incarcerated, because some folks say, I ain't putting nothing on the books, I ain't doing nothing, right? And then we hear these tragic stories, no autopsy, body bags, this and that. So for you all, given your son is still there and he's doing what he's doing, what would you say to other parents or other adults or guardians that are still have a responsibility? What would you say?
I would tell them, don't ever give up, because that's your loved one. And we never know what tomorrow's going to bring. because they can be here today and gone tomorrow. And then you're going to regret that you didn't do what you could have done.
Yeah.
And so, and I just say, stick by your loved one and come together. That's what we're going to have to do, is come together. Because it's going to take all of us to do what we need to do, what needs to be done in that system. It's not going to be just me or one other family. It's going to be all the families have to come together as one. And we got to be strong. That's how to stay strong and be there, because it can be your kid, your child, your niece, your nephew, or anyone. So you never know what's going to happen, because the system is so corrupt.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to come together in order to get this situation straight.
What about youth to the young people and these young adults, that's out here on the wild out?
Live your life, have fun, but it's plenty of ways to go instead of going bad. You know what I'm saying? And situations ain't always, and circumstances ain't always in people's favor. Because I've definitely been in situations that have placed me in jail and in prison, just not for a long time. Mm-hmm. But if you doing what you're supposed to be doing, you'll be okay. That's all I say.
I love that. And that's practical.
Right.
All right.
The most practical you can get.
Big brother.
Well, only thing I can say is don't wait till it's too late. True. Because I know one thing for sure and two things for certain. Once he get down in that hole, he don't know if he's going to make it back out of there.
Yeah.
Because it's bad. But, no. Don't forget about them, because they in there. That's it. You got to stick with them. That's what I'm going to do anyway. That's my brother.
Most of the end of the day,
I'm going to ride till the wheels fall off.
Ride till the wheels fall off. Bang, bang.
That's right.
Yeah. Claire?
I feel like, sometimes people make decisions based on whatever, and they may feel like there's no hope or nothing they can do, but there's always something you can do, whether it's a phone call or a visit. And I understand some people in there don't have family members they done passed on or whatnot. And if you know that, be a friend to someone. Like, they need some type of someone in their life or in their corner, because the system is so corrupt, like my mother said, that it's hard in there for them. And they just need some type of hope or a glimpse of something to hope for, to push on and to fight and have a reason to fight. Yeah. So I think, we can give that to them. And sometimes you gotta, put away your disappointment or your hurt and not make it about you, but just focus on what they need. And I think that's what, we have to do as, family members and friends and, loved ones.
So we want to close this way. I'm going to share just my little 2-minute thought, and then we want to say some special thank yous. And again, I want to say, man, wow, this is great having you all here. Thank you for taking the time to be with us and to be transparent and still do your due diligence, right? So I'm going to say, as a person that works with youth all the time and stays in the community on the block, like I tell my guys after the Basketball and Education Initiative, I said, if you're, like you were saying, if you're in the right space, doing the right thing, not running with the wrong, you can't get nothing but right. And even if you make a wrong mistake, you can always turn right. You can always turn right, no matter how difficult and challenging it is. And so coming to this special community screening, this is a documentary. It's a full documentary. But we're going to make sure that you have food that first hour from 5 to 6, and then we're going to get in around 6:15. We're going to have a great time. We're going to have some dialogue. The family will be there. We'll have advocates around the state there, so that if you or someone in your family or someone you know is really dealing with this. Maybe you have somebody there and there's no friends or family. We have pen pal ministries. We have all kinds. There's a lot of things. There's advocacy, Appleseed. There's this and that. There's a lot. So if you didn't know it, come just to glean the information. Come get the information. This Friday, the 7th, November the 7th, it's going to be the best Friday, November the 7th you ever have stepped into. Hear me?
Yes.
I'm just saying it. Like, we perish because of a lack of knowledge.
Right.
And then we don't believe it until our loved one is locked up.
That's right.
And they're not feeding them. They're not. Matthew 25 says, where were you when I was in prison? When I had no clothes, I was naked. When conditions were horrible. Where were you and I?
That's right.
And so, without being too preachy, this is about being humane. And so wherever you are on the spectrum of life, the spectrum of faith or not faith, you should come so you can know how you can get involved. So again, it's that important. So I'm going to give you the information. It'll be on the screen as well. It will be Friday, November the 7th. The time will be 5 to 6. We'll have a meal and some really cool music. And you get a chance to see some cool whips to get your mind prepared for this documentary that will begin a little right around 6:15. We're going to get that. Then you'll be able to come. We'll have a short action points. It's not going to be long, but you'll need to know what to do, next steps. And once you know what next steps to do, then it will be on you to do one of them, or two of them, or three of them. And then you get to hang out with the Rays, man. You get to hang out with me too. I'm gonna have a nice outfit on. You already know how to. So, you might get you to see some music, brother. You might, you might work. So we might have some extra music too. So check it. That's how this thing goes. I know I did. I just went left, didn't I?
And you're gonna go right.
And I'm gonna go right back.
Right,
So
there you go.
So we want to say on behalf of No More Dirty, we want to say thank you so much, and to the family, thank you so much. My prayer is that you will stay encouraged. Know that your good is what God loves.
Right.
I say all the time to my boys, I said it's one thing to do good, right? It's one thing the Bible says he loves us. But it's one thing for God to like you. Like when you like somebody, then you go out your way. Mm-hmm. If you like the person, or you love somebody who's gotten in trouble, you need to like them enough to say, okay, I'm going to show up. I'm going to put some on the books. Mm-hmm. I'm going to pull up once a month when I get my check. That's the liking moment. And that's the humane moment where life and service and humanity becomes synergized. And so, I'm sorry, I was told I wasn't going to preach. But anyway, that's how this goes. So we'll see you on Friday, November the 7th, 5 p.m. Come hang out with us at Calvary Hill Center. And we got to do our shout outs. Big shout out to Coach P. I'm going to say that because Coach P put me on with this amazing family, this amazing documentary. Claire, you got to do shout out for
One for Justice, which is helping us with this screening. They're helping with the community screenings across the city, but they're helping us with that one. Also, the directors.
Correct.
Andrew and Charlotte.
Yeah.
And
then we got to say a big shout out to HBO because somebody took the chance. Because nobody want to touch this stuff, but yes, just salute, family. Salute, salute, salute. No. So we're going to touch it. We're going to change it. We're going to do it. So anyway, that's it. We got to go because I'm starting to get deep in this. All right, we'll see you next time. Peace, peace.
Thank you.